This episode may contain explicit language.
The police get on the bus and they're asking everyone for their tickets. We're like, what ticket? It's like this giant mess. The kids are like, this isn't fair. And we're just like, shut up. Not like that, but just like sit. I just keep saying to them, sit down.
I want to be real. Like, I don't know what to do.
Don't worry. I'm sure people will write in.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. Well, Lucy, if you didn't clap in your teenager's face, maybe your daughter wouldn't yell at you.
I have a triumph. I am giving it all to the kids. Maybe I did something to cause this, but I really don't think I did.
Welcome to Care and Feeding. We're here to talk about the ups, the downs, everything in between when it comes to parenting. I'm Lucy Lopez. I host another podcast, The Mamacita Rica. I'm mother to Amelia, who's 15, Avery, who's 12, and we live in Miami, Florida, man.
I'm Zak Rosen. I make another podcast too. It's called Weirdly Helpful, and I am dad to Noah, who's 8, and Ami, who's 5, and Yuki, who is 3 months, and she's being really loud, but she's really cute. Sorry, we're in Detroit.
I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. I write the homeschool and family travel blog, Dutch Goose. I'm the mom to Henry, who's 13, Oliver, who's 11, and Teddy, who's 9. And I'm in my jammies because we made it to Rome.
Yeah!
Wow. Mazel tov.
Pasta.
Oh my gosh. Pasta time.
Pizza, pasta. I have so much to tell you guys.
Can't wait.
So much wine.
Every week, we answer your questions, share our own parenting triumphs and fails, and try to make this feel like the kind of conversation you'd have with your parent friends. If you want to listen, find us on your friendly neighborhood podcast app. But if you want to see us, head on over to YouTube. Just search Karen Feeding in the YouTube box.
You can see me in my jammies. And I even brought my little bear. We have our Karen Feeding bear. So here's my little bear is joining us today. Well, today's listener question hits close to home for me as a military spouse and as a mom. It's the kind of question that comes up a lot in military families, and I'm interested to see if it comes up for you guys too. But basically, how much truth do you share with your kids when so much of your life is uncertain? Our listener today is a mom whose husband is about to leave for a long, unpredictable deployment, and she's wondering what to tell the kids.
All right. And since I know you're traveling, Elizabeth, I am very curious to know if this week we're going to get a triumph or a fail from you. We are definitely going to be sharing those next. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be juicy. I already know. Welcome back. It's time for triumphs and fails. Zak, do you have a triumph or fail?
I do. I have a triumph. I am giving it all to the kids. I will take credit for them being my offspring, and maybe I did something to cause this, but I really don't think I did. Shira was out of town last week, and so it was just me and the kids on a recent school morning, and it was we just had daylight savings, so they woke up kind of earlier than they usually do, and I was expecting them to like burst in at some point and start asking me for things, as is typically the case. But I'm just like laying in my bed, kind of waiting to get started. And I hear Noah and Ami getting ready on their own, which has very little precedent. It has maybe happened just a couple times. Usually Ami, he wants to like put on his robe first, or he wants to eat. And he's typically reluctant to like do anything on his own.
To commit to the day.
To commit to putting on his school uniform. But through the tutelage of his older sister, at some point I hear him getting ready, and I hear Noah being like, all right, Ami, now get your sweatshirt. He's like, okay. And then I hear them shuffle into the bathroom, and they're like, all right, we're going to brush our teeth now. And he's like, okay. And they got dressed and brushed their teeth and headed downstairs, grabbed some Flip yogurts for breakfast. Lime, if you're curious. They love the lime Flip yogurt. And did pretty much everything they had to do, rendering me useless. And it was great. I wasn't like, there was the chapter in Lucy's life where she was like, they don't need me anymore. But, they're 8 and 5, so I know that they still are going to be needing me very, very soon after getting dressed, to like do the next thing. But I just like hung out in my bed for a half hour and looked at my phone. It was unbelievable. it was such a nice way to start the day. It was so
It's like a
spacious.
dream.
It's crazy. I don't know if it'll happen again, but I'm going to encourage it, and I think they have it in them to continue.
Did they have like a little alarm? Like, or they
They just
just
wake up.
got up? Okay.
You just get up, and because we live so close to school, we don't have to leave for school till like 8:30, so it's not
Oh
typically
yeah. So it's
too.
like already a pretty relaxed
Yeah,
morning.
it's
Yeah.
typically pretty chill unless they got to bed late and like sleep late because I hate to wake them up. Um, but yeah, no, it was lovely.
Love it.
Love it.
Nice little Monday morning triumph is what it was.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my triumph or fail because I feel like Elizabeth's is gonna be like the best one. Even if whether it's a triumph or fail, I just feel like once you start traveling,
It's not what I wrote on the document. I'll tell you that.
it doesn't
Okay.
matter. It really
Okay,
doesn't
great.
matter. I'm gonna
What do
I'm
you
gonna
got,
go ahead and
Lucy?
share mine.
Yeah,
I got a
please.
total fail. Avery is currently on house arrest, aka punished for the rest of the week. Took away her phone, took away makeup, took away YouTube privileges, and yeah, you can't. Okay,
Oh,
What'd she do?
Yeah, what'd she do?
we have a rule when the school year started. I think I shared it on the show or not, where everybody's allowed one free day off per quarter.
Okay,
Meaning
like
like
a
they can skip
like a
school, like
mental
with
health
your
day or
permission.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a mental health day,
Uh huh.
whatever.
Uh huh.
However, after yesterday, I think I have to review the rules and regulations to my crazy ass plan. I think part of the rules has to be you have to give me a month's notice on why you need this day off, or a week's notice at least, why you need this day off, and what you have to tell me what you're going to do on your day off too, right?
So it's not a
So
mental health day. It's like a vacation, a
it's
planned
like a
vacation day.
vacation day. Yeah, it's
Okay. Okay.
PTO. PTO.
Okay. Okay.
So then
Great. PTO. Yep.
I'm like early morning, wake her up. She's like, I am using my day off for the quarter. And I'm like, okay. I didn't give her too much shit about it, guys, because we had a really busy weekend with Halloween, and my daughters are in junior thespian, and they had competitions on Saturday, which your girl volunteered from 5 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night the day after Halloween. So we were exhausted. Sunday, like time change, it's been like crazy here. So Monday, when she was looking at me with these baby brown eyes like a puppy, like, can I please stay home? I was like, yeah, stay home. We're good. But you're not going to just stay home and do nothing. Okay, fine. So she wakes up around 9 a.m. She makes herself breakfast. At this time, I'm already in studio working. She's made herself breakfast. I heard the TV come on. I'm like, all right, I'll give her like half an hour to kind of like wake up. And then I go downstairs. I'm like, listen, you got to do homework. I know you have homework. I'm not bonkers. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Forgot to do homework for 4 days. And not that she lied to me, but she pitched it to us during the weekend in a way that we couldn't really tell if she had homework or not. Anyways, so I'm like, get to it. So she gets to it. And after she gets to it, I'm like, you need to go clean your room. And she goes, this is not a day off. I'm like, your room looks like a bomb went off. Just clean up your room. Go clean up your room. It's all that was said. She's stomping up the stairs. I'm like, hey, like, chill out. She goes, I hate you and I hate this house. And it was like a hormonal explosion at the top of the stairs. And I was the worst mom. And she used a lot of language that I'm not going to repeat on here because I just don't want to, because I'm still pissed. And I go, cool, give me your phone, give me your laptop. You're on house arrest. And she's been on house arrest since yesterday. So it's been a few hours into her sentencing. And all I can say is that later that afternoon, she wrote a letter to me. I don't think I should share the letter, but in that letter, she shared with me that even though she was mad at me for being the worst mom on the planet, that she still loves me. And she understands why she got her phone taken away. blah, 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 that she's sorry for yelling. She's sorry for the words she used. She's sorry for saying that she hated me because that's not true. And then at the very end, in very small font, very teeny tiny font, she said, "Can I please keep my mascara? That's all I'm asking for." I said no. I go, "No, you're not having any of these things for an entire week." And then this morning she woke up and she made her own breakfast. She was nice to me. She gave me a hug. She apologized again. Um, and I call this a fail. I know that she did all the right things, like by apologizing for the words she used, apologizing for being all wacky, all that. I call this a fail because sometimes I feel that I'm not 100% clear on certain things. And I think this day off in a quarter got muddied up with everything else. So this is why it's a fail. So now I have to
Yeah, there were definitely unclear expectations.
super unclear. I have to go back to the drawing board. I have to revisit this
Yeah.
and repitch it to the family.
I have a question.
Yes, Elizabeth?
What is the goal of taking all the stuff away?
Because you didn't hear what she said to me. I'm not down with that.
So it was about what she said.
Super disrespectful.
And that's so disrespect. Therefore, like she's lost the trust to.
When you,
Okay,
when you have a bilingual kid and they say certain things in Spanish that hit a little different than in English.
I just wasn't sure if it was like about the miscommunication about the day, but it was like you had the miscommunication, then she was super disrespectful, which she already knows and has several violations of in the past. Yeah.
Yes. And I am going to go ahead and pat myself in the back because your girl did not lose her mind.
I was going to say, were you really calm? I feel like this feels very calculated and calm.
I was so calm and so chill. I literally just went upstairs. I looked at her straight in the eyes. I'm like, "Listen to me. The phone is mine. The makeup is mine." And I grabbed a little makeup box. I took it to my bathroom. I was like, "And these are the consequences when you act like this towards me, when all I asked you was to clean your room. That is all." And when she was reading her apology letter to me, she read it in front of Amelia and in front of Gino because we needed witnesses at trial. And I felt like she really was very, very sorry for the way that she behaved. Although she asked me for the mascara for the rest of the week. But I could tell that she was very sorry.
She was shooting her shot.
She was shooting her shot. And I can't, we're not going to get mad at her because she tried to get the mascara. I'm not going to do that.
That wasn't a crazy ask.
It was a great letter, you guys. She put it in Hello Kitty
So what is the conclusion to this, though? Like, she just come Sunday night gets it back? Or, like, do you need, like, is this the punishment every time? You know what I mean?
No. I don't think this is the punishment every time. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what I'm doing right now. However, I do know that I need to figure out a better way to communicate certain things to the kids, to the girls. And I need to kind of, listen a little bit more. But I just don't like how she spoke to me, Elizabeth. It was not cool.
No. I mean, I think I'm just wondering, like, now that you have her attention, is there a way to be like, I understand that you get frustrated and you're a teen, like you're going to say these things, but here's the like, make it very clear where the disrespectful line is and other ways that she can handle this. Right. And then to say in the future, this is what we're going to do. Because from your perspective, then it doesn't have to be out of control. Like, it seems like you were in control this time. Like, if this is the consequence, this is the consequence. She does it again. She loses the make. You know what I mean? Like, but where is that line?
I don't know.
Just because you have this opportunity to have this discussion for her to get her stuff back.
I don't know, guys. I don't know the answer.
I don't know either, but I'm saying I think you have 4 more days to think about it.
I have a lot of days to think about it.
You're in charge. You could make what you want.
But
But I'm saying, like, when you hand it back, the lesson is kind of like, not just like, I took this because I was angry, but like, you have the opportunity to make this into a lesson about trust or respect, right? Like, the phone and the makeup are things big kids get to do. When you act like a little kid, you don't get to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you say to your teen, but I think there's a way to have this conversation about, like, you get to have this because we vest trust in you. But when you speak to me this way, that eats that trust, which is why I had to take the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't ran this problem through my chat GBT, but I am trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to tie this up. And I felt that usually I share these things with the audience and with you guys after the fact, but it's so fresh in my gabeza that I feel like I would be
but
like
you didn't yell.
I,
I think
I
this
feel
is like
like
a major win for you. Like, you've been
no, yeah.
struggling with her triggering you.
Well, both of
And
them trigger me
right, but
perfectly. I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think for me, what I want to be is 100% authentic to myself on this show, and it's like I want to be able to share these moments with the audience in a way that it's like, look, this is what's happening right now in my house. It's probably happening in a listener's house right now
Sure,
with
of
their middle
course.
schooler, maybe elementary, third grader, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's probably happening to you guys right now. And I guess me just sharing this helps me kind of get through it and figure out what the answer might look like at the end of this week. And I don't
Particularly with
know.
these neurospicy kids, the like tying the consequence to the future behavior, because so much of it feels random to them. You know what I mean? Like, she was clearly overstimulated all of this. That doesn't justify the disrespect. You are allowed to be right. Like we say, all feelings are welcome, not all behaviors are welcome.
You also said that she said this thing in Spanish and it triggered something specific in you. So
Yeah.
maybe talk to her about what that was. Maybe something that reminded you
Oh,
of.
I wanted to talk to her last night about what she said, but I bit my tongue. I just wanted to hear where I wanted, because I can tell that it was weighing heavy on her, that she wanted to apologize immediately because she knew she messed up with us.
Yeah.
Not just with me, with Gino, obviously, of course. And I mean, I tapped out. After I went up to her room and I'm like, okay, so I need these things from you because right now I don't think that this behavior deserves any of this stuff right now in my book. In mommy's eyes, I'm not down with this. This is not cool. We're not I have to work things out right now. And she understood that. She understood that I needed to work through whatever she was going through herself. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And so when I got all these things, I put them away. Gino's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, Gino's like, I think we need to put her on house arrest for the rest of the week. And I was like, I agree. Because if we don't laugh a little bit about this, we're going to pull our hair out.
Yeah, exactly. And you bought yourself time for everyone to cool down. I think that's important.
Exactly. And I was like, I don't want it longer than a week. I was like, this will give us enough time to cool down and work from this from a very calm, chill place, you know? Um being a parent to two girls right now, it is insane. It's wacky time. Um and I'm just learning as I go. And I just don't feel like if I'm going to be on the show and we're going to share our lives with our audience, I want to be real. Like, I don't know what to do.
Don't worry, I'm sure people will write in.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. Well, Lucy, if you didn't clap in your teenager's face, maybe your daughter wouldn't yell at you. You don't think I thought about that? You know who you are. But these are things this is real life. I'm living a real life out here where we all are. And I think this is just like a moment in my life where I'm just like, I don't even know.
No, there's so many times that we get halfway through something and I'm like, where am I going? Like, what? That's why I asked the question, like, what's the plan? Because you have time. But like, come Friday, I think you have this opportunity to like have a real conversation, or Saturday, or whenever you're giving this stuff back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that, just figuring
and also,
it out.
I love that you're like, we need to revisit this day off situation.
Oh, totally. Gino's like, do you have like, I know you have a list. And I go, I really didn't put down rules. He goes, oh boy, We need to revisit this 1 day off a quarter thing, because Amelia, it's funny because when I picked up Amelia from school last night and I told her your sister's in hot shit with me, she was like, what happened? And I like tell her everything. And then she goes, you see, she's using those days off all wrong. And it made me rethink. And I go, well, what would you use it for? She was like, first of all, I'd find out if there's something cool happening in the city that only happens during school hours. So her idea of a day off is clearly way different than Avery.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this can be a family discussion, and like
Yeah.
a mental health day is very different from a PTO day. So y'all can just get clarity together on it.
And we can like determine, is this a mental health day or is it a PTO?
Yeah.
What's
Because this
going
was
on?
certainly the former.
And how do they need to tell you? And what are the
Yeah.
expectations? Is the expectation if you take the day off, like that it's because she thought it was like a day off.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, it's like you just don't have to go to school.
Right.
You're not
Right.
like
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she finished her homework and she did all her assignments. And then I'm like, all right, just clean up your room because it looks like a bomb went off. And she looked at me like, bitch, what? It was a lot. But yeah. I don't know if this is a fail. I don't know if this is a triumph. I don't know what this is, but it's something that happened in my life. And right now it feels like a fail. And I feel like the need to share it with the classroom. Elizabeth, the floor is yours.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
in Rome. You're stuffing your face with pasta, pizza, and some wine. What's going on?
Big old fail. Big old
Ooh.
fail.
No.
So we left yesterday, got in this morning in Rome. So we got on a plane on Monday night, Atlanta time, landed here at 7 in the morning, got into town, met up with Jeff, got checked in at the hotel. Great. Some of the kids slept on the plane. Some of us didn't. We went down for a quick nap. Jeff took the other kids out, like just picture perfect day. Got on we booked a golf cart tour. It drove us around. We saw the things. We get off the golf cart. The golf cart tour included gelato. It was lovely. We get off the golf cart tour. Everything we want to go to today is free because it's some holiday. So just like this picture perfect day, we find this place for a 3 p.m. dinner because everyone's hungry. They have like great pizza, great pasta. We're just having a very lovely day. We go to go home because we have this recording. The kids are tired. The goal is like keep them out till like 6 p.m. and then we'll be home by 6. We record here. It's 7 p.m. here. So we're waiting for the bus because we need to take the bus back. And the bus is like not coming. We're like checking with the lady. We've already taken the Metro one today, so we know how it works. It's like a credit card tap system. And all these other buses are coming. We're watching people get on, and nobody is tapping when they get on. Our bus is still not coming. It's like major chaos. Oh, apparently I'm giving a thumbs up, but it really shouldn't be. So it was just like chaos. There's a lot of people waiting. Jeff makes a last minute decision to get on this different bus. He's like, we're going to get on this bus and we'll walk from this location. So we get on. The bus is super crowded. Again, no one is tapping. We also have like, he has the cards in his wallet. I'm not carrying anything. So we just like get on the bus. Well, 2 stops later, the like police get on the bus, just like everywhere on the bus, and they're asking everyone for their tickets. And we're like, what ticket? Ticket for what? Like we had asked information, nobody was tapping. Like, so I get Jeff, we like have the family, and they're like, you have to tap. And we were like, okay. We were totally confused. No one was tapping. Things are like free today. The bus was super crowded when we got on. So we were just trying to like get the kids places. And he's like, okay, I have to fine you. You don't have a ticket. You guys are getting fined. The whole bus is getting fined, by the way, like everybody. So we're like, okay. And we're trying to like show he wants passports. I don't have the passports with us because we had left them with the hotel front desk. It's like this giant mess. So we end up kind of on the bus with the police officer. Jeff is trying to figure out, like, we're trying to figure out how much they're going to fine us. The fine is like not insignificant. It ends up, it's like over $100 for getting on without a ticket.
Per person or all total? In total?
Total, because they're only going to fine 2 of us. They think all the kids are under. I think technically we probably should have been fined for 4, I think. Because when we paid for the Metro, we paid for 4. We did 4 Metro tickets and Teddy is free.
Damn, $200?
Yeah. So we're like trying to figure out, we're like explaining to him, like, we're happy to pay the fine. We like explaining the situations. Anyway, clearly that's not going to work. The guy's like, it's my job. You didn't have the ticket. We're like, all right, we're going to pay the fine. You have to pay the fine right there, or it's like more, and you have to go somewhere. Total chaos. Well, meanwhile, the kids are like so like, this isn't fair. And we're just like, shut up, like not like that, but just like sit. I just keep saying to them, sit down. Like, this is not the time. Like, Dad and I need to deal with this. So we get off the bus, but we're also kind of rushing to get back here so that I can work and we can get the kids down. And the kids are so mad. They are like, I hope something, this man has a bad day. And I all of a sudden realize I'm like, they have such something bad happened to us because we were supposed to pay for the bus and we did not pay for the bus. Now we have a million reasons why we didn't pay for the bus, right? Like I don't, like, knowing what I know now, I don't know that we would have done anything different. Like, all of the signs, I wasn't seeing anything that was like, we need to tap here. I honestly thought maybe it was free. Then I was like, maybe at night, you know what I mean? But bottom line, we were supposed to have a bus ticket and we didn't have a bus ticket. So, but the kids are like, think this guy. So I'm like trying to explain to them, like, this man is doing his job. His job is to do the ticket. His job is not to like take pity on us. First of all, these things happen. This is, yes, it's a lot of money, but also, like, when we take this trip, we knew things like this happen when you travel. If it wasn't this, it would be a parking ticket or we would be overcharged for a meal, or like that much cash would be, taken from us. And it was just this like weird moment of explaining to them, like, sometimes you do the wrong thing. Like, we did the wrong thing. Again, I can justify why we did the wrong thing, but we did the wrong thing. We should have found the two little tappers in the crowded train and like made sure we tapped the right number of things and gotten the tickets or whatever. But it was just sort of this total, I mean, Jeff is up there. I mean, I assume they're asleep because I don't hear them. We have to stay in 2 rooms because there's so many of us, and he's upstairs with the kids. But just these kind of experiences where you're like, I appreciate that they're bonding together with us, like that they're taking on this family spirit, but also, like, I think it's important to acknowledge when you do the wrong thing and then you had to pay the consequence. You know what I mean? Like, this is just what happens. But I'm still really, both Jeff and I were like, because we're also, he's here for work. Like, it's just a super complicated situation.
So they were just like pissed at the cop?
Well, yeah, but it's like, I don't think that we should walk away from a situation in which
Yes.
And them
Let's
saying
screw
like,
that guy.
I hope he has a bad day.
Yeah.
I hope he gets this. It's like, he literally was doing his job. That is his job. His job is to get on this bus and make sure that everyone paid a ticket so that the bus system can run. And it turns out no one on this bus had paid a ticket. Like, that's a bigger issue. But just also this like panic, like, thank God Jeff was with me when this happened. This is the other thing. Like, they only take certain kinds of cards to pay this fee, which is like different than the card that you can tap with, because I travel with one kind of card, but they only take a different kind of card. Like, just the whole thing was a total nightmare. I literally thought one of us was going like to Italian jail of some kind, and we were going to be calling the work people. Like, what is the metro jail? Then I'm walking home and I'm thinking, like, because I didn't have my passport, they used my Florida driver's license. I'm like, if I had just not paid, I don't think they could find me. I mean, again, that's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? It's like, we're talking about this, but it's like, none of that is the right thing to do, is to make sure you have a bus ticket and pay the fine. And this is what I want to teach. This is like what the children need to learn.
But they did after they had their outburst and saw, my parents are upset. Damn the person who made them, who seemingly made them feel that way. But then you explained how it works.
Yeah, but I think they're still mad at them. I think they still feel like, screw that. And the other thing is like this idea that like, you can't let it ruin your whole, like, we had this beautiful day.
Yeah.
And we're not going to let it ruin our whole
What time
trip.
did this happen? What time in the day was this?
6 something.
Yeah.
And
after
it's 7
this
something
magic
now.
day.
Like, yeah. And it was, I mean, Jeff and I were both like, shit, when you get the like shakes a little bit, because you're like, this situation is so out of control. And just the way it like escalated so quickly, like this man sitting the children, just like everything about it was like, this is so bad, over us not tapping, this is like a $2, ticket. It's crazy.
What do you think? It's a fail that you got caught?
Definitely a fail.
That you got caught without your passport?
It's a fail because we should have bought the bus tickets. I should have figured out a way to buy the bus. I should have just gone to the machine and gotten the bus tickets, even if I thought everybody else was riding for free.
You live, you learn.
No, it's mistakes happen. I'm not like mad at our behavior. Like I said, it's just like the kind of thing that then, yeah, you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want my kids to think that like people doing their job are bad when they catch you doing the thing you shouldn't have done.
Exactly. Yeah. La polizia was doing their job.
Sometimes we do things, and again, there are justifications, but that doesn't necessarily it doesn't make it right, And I still think it's okay to plead your case. That's the other thing we said. We explained it to the officer, and there was a chance he was totally cool, pay the fare, but that wasn't today.
I heard you.
Super annoying though. Anyway.
Listen, we love to hear about your triumphs and fails and all the things. You know where you can find us. You can email us at careandfeedingpod@slate.com. You can come find us in the Slate Parenting Facebook group, or you can ring us up at 646-357-9318. And please don't forget, we're officially on the YouTubes. We're on YouTube. Woo! Smash and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know if you like seeing our smiling faces. I promise you that you are going to love it. We're going to take one more quick break, but we'll be right back with a listener question.
Let's be honest, life gets messy, families fight, coworkers overstep, partners do weird stuff in bed. Luckily, Slate's advice columnists have seen it all. Sign up for the free Slate Advice newsletter and get our latest takes on sex, parenting, money, and every moral gray area in between, plus exclusive bonus letters delivered straight to your inbox. Subscribe now at slate.com/advice.
Welcome back. It's time to answer a listener's question. This one came from our email.
Hello, we are a military family and my husband travels often for work. Sometimes he has gone a weekend, sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a month. It's not a reliable schedule. Overall, he is probably gone about half the time. In January, he will be going on an in-country deployment. This means that he'll be gone most of the time, but he'll be able to come home for a few days here and there. My question is, should we bother to tell the kids? The girls are 8, 5, and 3. They do well on his travel and don't get upset when he's out of town. He went on a deployment in the Middle East before and was gone for a year, and they were upset at first and then adjusted well since they're used to it being just me. I don't want them to think their father abandoned them or that they are out of the loop somehow, but I also don't want to stress them out if there's a chance they won't really notice the change. We also aren't sure where he will be or how often or when he will be back for visits, so I feel like I won't be able to answer any questions they have if I do tell them. Thoughts? Thanks in advance. Love the show. And I do want to give a couple I feel like military notes. So we do a bunch of in-country deployments, which is where we deploy people to places where they're doing deployment work, but they're located inside the United States. So they work deployment hours, which might be if we're dealing with something overseas, they're working that time zone. And they're really we call it sort of warrior mindset. And I think so even though they're in the US, there's this they're not at risk the same way they might be if they were in the field, but they're certainly not present the way they might be on a business trip, right? Sometimes when they're in these in-country deployments, you can't call them, you can't reach them. It'd be if they work in a secret facility or something like that, in a place where you can't reach them. So I think
that's helpful.
We debated this kind of internally what this meant, but I think fundamentally what she's saying is do I need to say he's on a deployment or can I just be Dad's traveling?
Right.
Don't worry, he'll be home when he's out. We don't know when he's coming. I think she doesn't want to explain all of that. And I feel like there are a lot of times in kids' lives where it's how much do we give them the full story versus just if there's an easy way to kind of wash it, do we do that?
First of all, you're going from him overall being gone about half the time to now him being gone a lot more. So, I mean, I know my 8-year-old would notice this is the norm for your family. So I understand that they're used to this, to him not being around as much. But if you're debating telling them whether moving from we're going to see Dad half the time to we're going to maybe see Dad sometimes, if that, we don't really know, I think you have to tell them. But I think it's different for the 8 and the 5 and the 3. And also, I think what you can do, especially if he's going to be in spaces where he can't access the phone or, um, you know, or FaceTime or whatever, what you could consider doing, and you probably do this already, but especially knowing that he's going to be gone a lot of the time, is have him prepare a bunch of like video messages and or letters, and or like packages to send home. And for the video messages, like you can deploy those, you can schedule them out, on with your email server. So like each kid can get their own special message or song or whatever daddy does with you, like, at the first of every month, so they always like have some consistency with him, even though he won't be there in 3D, all the time. So I would do that, but it's a two-parter. So the first thing we can talk about is, should they tell them? My answer is yes.
Zach, that's such a good idea. The like email scheduling out. I feel like that's so smart.
It's great advice. You should have a show.
But yeah, I mean, don't you think, like, wouldn't you notice?
I'm also team tell them, but I'm
Yeah,
team tell them because I think that no matter their ages, like the 3-year-old doesn't know, right? But
but the 5 does, and certainly the 8.
they're military kids. That's like part of who you are.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, like, I'm always worried someone else is going to tell them. Like, I don't know how much you're in a military community, but like, I feel like someone's going to be somebody at school or whatever is going to be like, oh, isn't your dad deployed? You know what I mean? And now it's like, have you burnt trust by not telling them? But I don't think you have to tell them everything. And if
No,
you've
no, no,
done a
no.
deployment before, I think you can say this is different than when he deployed before. I found it easier to get the kids used to the uncertainty, like to hear me say, I don't know. I don't know when he's going to be able to call. I don't know when he's going to be home, but here's what I do know. I know that you're safe. I love this idea. This is why I love this. I know that a message is coming for you the first of every month. I know that you know what I mean? I also always worry, like, what if something happens and then you have to explain something to them and you didn't tell them everything? Like, I know it's an in-country deployment, but like, there are still just things that happen. I don't know. I think an honesty is the best policy, even if it's a little harder.
My father worked for immigration for about 30 years of his life, right? And the chunk of his, like, I guess his career was when I was in middle school, high school. And I remember coming home from school and like not knowing where my dad was for days, because he was often deployed, but not obviously with the military, through
Yeah, same
immigration
thing though. Yeah, yeah. Like he's
to
off.
do things. He's
Yeah.
gone. And my mom would, for some reason, not tell us where he went, what he was doing, like nothing. So there was always like this mystery cloud. Like, what is my dad really doing? Like, what is going on? And I was in middle school and then it was like high school, not really understanding what my father did. And I wish my mom was a little bit more transparent with us and just like, yeah, your dad is off doing some stuff that he's not allowed to share with me, not allowed to share. And it is what it is. And, you can talk to him, he'll call us. I remember and later finding out that my father spent 4 months in Germany. And I was like, that's where you were? He was like, yeah, I was in Germany. And we would get like a call every week or something. Um, but I agree with the team. I'm not in your position, but I was that kid. And just be honest, be really honest, because your child might make up little stories in their head that really they could be helpful, but they may not be.
I think you can use too. I was thinking, like, if deployment is really the issue, like deployment seems scary, you could certainly use, like, we sometimes say like long-term temporary duty, long-term TDY. Like, you could use, there are some other terms and I think it's okay. Like, those sort of lies to me are fine, like linguistical lies, to make it so that they can handle it. But I think with these big things, you're really running the risk of burning a lot of trust, particularly with that 8-year-old. And I also think, like, your kids talk. If you don't tell them all, like anything you tell your 8-year-old, you should assume is going to be repeated to your 5 and 3-year-old. You can certainly you're always welcome to ask questions, all of those things. There are so many good, I'm sure it's, they've taken a deployment. Like there are so many good deployment resources too. We always did the paper chains. I don't know if I've talked about this, but like you join paper loops for how many days they're going to be gone. And what I liked about this is that they're really easy to change. And so we would just cut a loop, and it was more like seeing it get shorter. And we would never count them because I would say like, it's one per day, but like things change. But you could do something like this. And then when you had a planned he's coming home or something, you could put a special color or put a sticker on one, right? Like I think there's things that you can do that help the kids like see what this looks like, but that is still really kind of editable, you know? But I do think you should ask. I want to talk a little bit more about Zak's ideas because I think there are ways to like make the gone less. You know what I mean? Like there are ways to get him invested now by emails or the notes, or like there's so many ideas for when you're gone, because I think that would help too. Like the whole transition of him being gone shouldn't fall all on you.
Yeah. I mean, notes, videos, letters, gifts, the US mail. It works.
Yeah.
Or email, of course.
And I think usually in country, like you should be able to call, nights, or like figuring out what that schedule is, or even saying, like we're going to figure that out when he gets there, and then have a family conversation about that. I think asking, the kids are old enough too to ask them like, what would you like? How do you want to send letters to dad? Do you want to send stuff back too? So that he's like up on their life.
I mean, even sending voice memos back and forth.
Jeff used to send like DVDs of him reading books. This is like very early on when the kids were little. Now, of course, you can do all of that this was like when they didn't have phones with them, anything. But I think things like that were so great. And most of these places do have like a library, and there are all these great deployment programs where you can like pre-record books and things like that. So I would definitely go look at some deployment resources. I'd love to hear where you guys think the line is for like modifying the truth on things like this, travel or other things with kids. Like, are you guys 100% truth all the time? Because I'm definitely a like dumb it down. They don't need to know every detail person.
I mean, the only like, I guess, moment in my life where I kind of lied to my kids was when they were like Amelia was like in the 2nd grade. And Gino and I wanted to do drinks around the world at Epcot, and we didn't tell her we went.
Because she would have been
Where
too
were
jealous.
they?
With my parents.
Okay.
And I was just like, where are you guys going this weekend? I have to work. So, I mean, and she was like in the 2nd grade, and we were off.
Your partner already went to the Middle East, and I'm pretty sure you didn't talk about geopolitics with your kids. I'm assuming his daddy has a big trip, and he's trying to keep us safe. If that, so I mean, I have no experience with that, but I'm imagining, Elizabeth, that you guys do a lot of sugarcoating, and you certainly did when they were younger.
Yeah, I mean, I think even now I just don't want them worried.
For sure.
But I do try to like locationally let them know a little bit, just because especially as they get older, like sometimes protecting them isn't protecting them.
Protecting them meaning withholding.
Withholding information.
Well, now you have a 15-year-old now. It's completely different.
13-year-old.
But he acts 15. He's mature like a 15-year-old. Yeah, that's right.
13-year-old. If he was 15, we definitely would have paid a fine for him.
Yeah.
I think this is hard though. I also think this mom should give herself just like some credit. I do know what she means though, because when you're the like alone parent a lot, it is sometimes easier to just like run on your own. You know what I mean? Just like, this is like, I'm just going to run and we're not going to worry about this other person. But I do think in the long run, like it's also your job to care for this other relationship. Not that he doesn't have to do work, but like you need to make sure that that relationship on your part is staying strong, which is a little bit more work and it's totally unfair, but it just kind of, it's the job, which is why I think the like emails, the videos, like that's so like offloading some of that to him. Like, and also what else can he do while he's gone to support you? Like it's different because he's going to be in the US. So there's more that he can do than when he was in the Middle East. I know when they like deploy, you take on almost everything. Like they can't make any of the phone calls, anything. But I do think that you should also have a meeting that's like, this house is still both of our responsibilities, even though you're going to be deployed. And I do want you focused on that job, but like which things can he reasonably take off your plate so that you can be vesting more in the relationship with the kids?
Are you talking about like, he'll like pay, like handle this?
Yeah. Like, can you handle paying the bills? Can you, when they're deployed, they can't, none of that is consistent. Like, cause you just don't know what they're going to have, but like, can he, I don't know who's doing finance, like all those jobs that are online, can he make calls for you or whatever that looks like? I just think there are some things that they can do, which also keeps them connected to the home front. Because I do think the other thing that could happen is like you start to feel like two totally separate organizations,
Well, listener, if this letter hit home for you, maybe you're a military family too, or you've had to navigate long absences in your household, we would love to hear how you handled it. Send us an email at careandfeedingpod@slate.com or call us and leave a voicemail at 646-357-9318. You can also join our very robust parenting community on Facebook. That's the Slate Parenting Facebook group.
And that's our show. Subscribe, leave a rating, a review, tell all your friends. And if you want more parenting advice, you can find Karen Feeding the column on slate.com. This episode of Karen Feeding is produced by Shayna Roth. Micah Phillips is our video producer. Mia Lobel is executive director for podcasts at Slate, and Ben Richmond is senior director of podcast operation. For Zak Rosen and Elizabeth Newcamp, I'm Lucy Lopez. Thanks for listening.
If you want more no-nonsense advice about parenting, relationships, money, and everything else life throws your way, sign up for the Slate Advice newsletter. A special thanks to our Slate Plus members. If you haven't already, consider joining. Slate Plus members get unlimited access to all of Slate's journalism and help support our independent reporting.